Yo, this is it. I'm Mr. Faye, and you're listening to Attack of the Beats on IllMuzik.com. Here we are once again, another 5 beats, another 5 reviews. And before I get to that, actually, I want to mention, I don't know if you checked yet on the forums, I mentioned a topic about, created a topic about having beat crews. Now, I don't know exactly where I want to go with that. I don't know if it even worked. I mean, some of you have replied to it. I'd like to hear from more of you, though. But I don't know. I think it'd be an interesting idea because, it's just that I'm just thinking, like, instead of everybody just trying to sell beats and promote their beats or whatever, individually, why don't they do it as a crew? That way, it's just better to help everybody all around rather than just individually. So, anyway, so check out the thread. You'll see it somewhere. I can't remember where it is exactly. I think it's in the news section, the top one or something. Anyway, check it out and let me know because, I don't know. We should give it a shot, see how it goes. I don't know. All right. Okay, so first up, we've got Cold G with Evergreen. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Cold G with Evergreen. All right, so, well, first of all, you only sent in about 52 seconds of a beat. So, don't forget, you got 2 minutes to play with. So, hold on a sec. I got to adjust this. Okay. All right. Microphone's falling over. All right. And anyway, so I think that, you should send in the beat full 2 minutes. That way you could, try to do something with it, whatever. But in your case, the beat does sound really good. I like the drums, actually. They're good. It's got, even though the snare's got like some, like that, it's got some sound with it, right? It's got like some dust with it or whatever. It sounds actually really good. So I have no complaints on the drums whatsoever. And the keys, they're really, really nice, nice and smooth and everything. But it's when you bring in that synth, that's what just kind of ruins it because it just doesn't fit, I think, with the rest. So I like the idea because, you're bringing in a synth, but maybe have it sounding a little smoother because you got smooth keys, you got some laid back drums. So why not have a synth that is like, in the same format, right? Same smooth too and all that stuff. You don't want something that's all, loud and in your face like you have right here. But actually, you don't really need anything because I'm listening to the beat. It's one of those beats that it could honestly just be like an interlude or something because, that's what a lot of people forget. When you're making a beat, not every beat has to be this big monumental thing where you have to have somebody spitting on it or whatever. Just have a beat, just if it sounds good, it sounds good. I mean, whatever, So in your case, this beat, you can really just leave it alone with, just with the keys, you get rid of that synth part, And the one thing I would have maybe added was, what is it, like a xylophone or something like that? Like something like that, where it just goes, just something like that, where it just add that in here and there and stuff. I think that would really, add some flavor to it and stuff. But the synth, I would get rid of the synth part. Because the rest of it sounds really, really nice. So think about adding just that little xylophone thing, or just get rid of the synth. Well, get rid of the synth too, and just leave it as is because it could just be an interlude. So, all right. Okay, so next up we've got D-Mac Beats with The Realist. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was D-Mac Beats with The Realist. All right, so this is an interesting beat because it's not the beat itself really that I have a problem with. I guess it's what the beat is really, because you have a good beat, like some nice build-ups and everything. It's everything seems to be in the right place, so that's really good. I mean, you could maybe scale back on the 808 a bit or whatever, but I think what it is with this beat is that with this style of beat, I know a lot of people are doing this style, whatever, but I just think that too much attention is brought to the synth stuff, So, and I understand that, but I just think there could be more room for everything else, because it's like, for example, if if I'm big on drums, let's say, I mean, I'm gonna probably go and make my beats so that the focus is more on the drums. I got like some more hard hitting drums, when I'm in my mix there, it's like it's louder than the rest or whatever. So in this case, it's kind of like that, but with your synths. So I mean, I think the beat is great. Like I said, I think the build-ups are great. I think it's just the way it's arranged, you know what I mean? It's like, because I'm listening to this beat and I'm thinking this is perfect for a rapper, right? So like, you're gonna need some space on that for a rapper, because right now it's just this mix, everything's just so over the top, I would say. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what a lot of people are doing now. They're mixing stuff, a lot of compression or whatever, and they're just putting a lot of stuff on their mix, so it's like it just sounds like it's overdone a lot, you know what I mean? It's like if you listen to, for example, a lot of these songs today, a lot of these singers today, whatever, like they're not really, you don't really hear their voice, let's say, like it's just so over processed, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I mean, processed, that's what it kind of sounds like with your mix, so I mean, like I said, that's the style, I understand that, whatever, but for my preference, I just think that it should be leveled out some more, because in your beat, I would have brought the drums up more, because especially the snare, I mean, it's fine the way it is, but I think it just would have sat a little better in the mix if it was a little louder, but because everything's just focused more on the synth part and stuff, so but no, it's a really nice beat. I like it. I just think for my preference, I would have done something different with the mixing and the arrangement, but you have a really solid beat there. That's some good shit. I like it. All right, so next up we've got Marlo Rodriguez with Change. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Marlo Rodriguez with Change. All right, so this one, it's funny because at the beginning I'm listening to it, and the bass line, I wasn't crazy about it at first, because it's like it sounds like you took an 808 and you messed with it, you made a little bass line with it and stuff, and it's a little heavy, sort of muddy, I would say, not really, but something like that. But anyway, as I keep listening to it, I'm like, actually this is pretty good. I like what you did with the low end. That's really good. I love the intro with the keys and the strings all the way through. It's really, really nice. It's a solid beat. I think my only complaint really is that snare. I mean, it sounds like an 808 snare maybe or something, but it just sounds too... I just hate snares like that, because I mean, I've used them, but I more or less just stack them with something else, right? I layer them with another type of snare, because I prefer snares that, have more of a smack to them. They're tighter snares. And, actually a really good snare is just a regular, analog drum snare, right? If you just get a drummer to hit the snare, just get that nice and clean, because then you could do whatever you want with that, really. When you get a clean snare like that, or anything really that's clean like that, you could just alter it any which way you want. So if you had something like that, you stack that with this, I think it would be better, or just do it with this snare all together and get something else. Because I'm just picturing, like, if you had a smacking snare with some nice reverb on it, nice reverb on it, it would really fill out that space, which goes along with the rest of the stuff, the keys and the synth and all that stuff, the strings. So I think, you should try that. Maybe like a smacking snare with some reverb, and that'll really match the rest of the instruments in the mix. So give that a shot. All right, so next up we've got Roger Makarov with Gods Amongst Us. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Roger Makarov with Gods Amongst Us. Now here we have a beat that's actually really, really good. I really like this. I really enjoyed this beat. It's rare that, I hear a beat, not just with Attack of the Beats, but just in general on IllMuzik and anywhere really, where I hear a beat that just, like, it just stands out from the rest, So this beat, I think, does that because, you've got your piano, the strings, your drums. I had a little bit of issue with the drums. Maybe it's just me, I don't know, because when I was a kid, my sister screamed into my ear, and I think my right ear is a little damaged or something. I don't know, but it sounds like the drums are a little bit to the left. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But no, I mean, it sounds good. I like the percussion, everything. Everything sounds really, really good. I like the way you built everything up. And then it was like, maybe a minute and a half in or something, you went from like the full beat to all of a sudden you just, dropped everything out and you had your little breakdown and stuff. That's nice, because just the other week there was, the other episode, I think it was last time, there was somebody that did something like that where they just all of a sudden just cut everything off abruptly to go into that breakdown part, instead of just transitioning into it. So you did a good job transitioning into it, so that's really good. And as I'm listening to it, I think it was about a minute in or something, you brought in those horns, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. It's a perfect addition. Because I was thinking about that. I was like, there's something maybe missing, and then you brought in the horns, so that was a really good addition. You brought it in at the right time, so I like that shit. And I mean, I think that's about it, really. I mean, this is a really, really good beat. Like I said, just maybe the drums. You want to check those? I don't know if it was just me. And the other thing too is the mix. I would say you just gotta be careful because it's one of those beats where you've got a lot of stuff going on. So you just have to be careful that, you don't have too much going on in the mix. You know what I mean? Sometimes when that happens, I do it myself too. You get your mix is just so much up there, and you start going into the red. You don't want that. So that's why people add a lot of compression and whatever, and bring shit down. And next thing you know, you got this overly compressed mix and all that stuff. That's all a mess. Anyway, so all right. So next up, we get the last beat. It's Steven Diaz with Style. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Steven Diaz with Style. So with this one, I love piano. So I'm listening to this. I love the piano chops. It's really, really good. I would have liked to have heard a variation, though. So instead of having the same loop over and over for like 2 minutes, whatever, it would have been nice to hear, a separate, maybe like 4 or 8 bars where you have like a different loop going on with those with that piano. But what you have is good. It's looping the same stuff over and over. And but it's just like I said, just if you had some kind of transition, there's always ways you could flip the stuff like that around, especially piano, right? Piano is so diverse when you're chopping. And I love hearing the hiss and crackle from a sample, but in your case, I can hear the crackling in the right ear, and it was just annoying, So after a while, it's annoying, but so I would get rid of that part. Get rid of the crackle in the right ear and stuff, and you can maybe just add some throughout the whole mix, right? Like in stereo, just put some crackle in there or something like that. That way, it fills out the whole thing. But yeah, the main thing is just the piano. If you just have some kind of change up with it, and the snare and hat's fine. The kick is good. I like the kick, but I just find it ends too abruptly. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It just seems kind of dull in a way. Let's say whatever. And if you're going to add something to it, which I suggest, then you could add something like strings or maybe some horns to it. That's probably the main thing. Usually when I'm using piano, I like to add strings. That's the main thing I find that goes so well with piano. So, and it doesn't have to be anything overwhelming, just something, very subtle and all that stuff. So, yeah, give that a shot. And maybe some horns too. So, all right, so that's it for me. I'm Mr. Fate. This is Attack of the Beats. Keep sending your beats in. I'll keep reviewing them. And my favorite beat this week, the winner is, drum roll please, Roger Makarov with Gods Amongst Us. Let's check it out.